What's up, El Paso? Welcome back to this week's episode. I have some amazing guests. I'm super excited. Unfortunately, it does look like we are one guest down. Lafitte. They are a delicious local restaurant on the east side on Zaragoza. I highly recommend that you guys go show some love and support. These guys, Chef Pluto and his assistant, they drive out here daily, twice a day, okay? So they're driving from Alamogordo to El Paso to serve us, and then they're driving back home at the end of the day to go back home. They did have a car accident about a week or two ago, so unfortunately, like I said, they aren't able to make it today, but I do want to encourage you guys to please go out and support this restaurant and these fellows, because again, if they love El Paso and our market so much that they're here driving to us daily to feed us, we can go and show some love. So thank you for that. Go check out Lafitte, Facebook and Instagram. They got like 8 different mac and cheeses. I don't think I need to say more. Without further ado, I'm gonna go on and flip this beautiful guest. How you doing today? Thank you guys for joining me. Hello. I have the Scorpions rugby team in the house. I got Paul Braden with Exit Realty Horizon. And I've got Victoria with the Moor Children's Home. How are you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Thank you guys all for joining me today. I appreciate you coming in on a Wednesday in the middle of a work day. So thank you. First off, how I do like to start my show, marketing question. I don't know if you guys are familiar or at home, but I do work at Leo Marketing, L-E-O Marketing. We're a local marketing agency here in Central El Paso. We completely understand the El Paso market. We are not on mañana time. You could tell us you need video production this week and we'll be there and we'll have your spot ready next week, okay? So that being said, we can help you with everything from negotiating and brokering deals for TV, radio, billboard, print, and streaming platforms. It does not cost you anything to use me to do those negotiations, but it helps you out with your time, because how many AEs do you want to meet with? How many salespeople do you want to meet with for them to tell you that they're the #1 salesperson and you need to give them all your money? We're indifferent. We do the research for your business and put the money where it needs to go. So I'd love to help you with that. I can also help you with social media. Video production is huge for us. We have our own video production company and rental company inside of Leo Marketing. We have our own studio, so anything like that, we can help you. Graphic design, photography, SEO, Google, branding, we can help you with all of that. We are 0 contracts, month to month, prepay. So it's just a different way of working, and we'd love to help you. Again, if you need help with social media influencing Annie's Adventures, I can help you with that as well. I do provide feature posts. Reach out to me and we can schedule that, okay? We just need about a week's notice on that to plan anything. It's super simple. So without further ado, I do want to turn around and ask everybody, what do you do? What works for you guys? And do you have any tips or advice for business owners? So I'll go on and let you take it away first, Victoria.
I had to sit closest to the camera.
Oh, come on.
So I'm the Community Relations and Development Coordinator. So my focus is more in terms of fundraising and volunteer coordinating, things like that. But I think with that does come marketing. So social media is mostly what we use. There are times that we place ads with El Paso Inc., and that's where we can recognize our sponsors for the fundraiser. So we always try to make sure that there's some sort of way that we really highlight our sponsors. So for our fall fundraiser, which is Operation Pumpkin in October, I created a catalog, sort of like a magazine that highlights everybody who donated items for our silent auction and raffle and giveaways. So sort of like a magazine.
Okay.
And it just highlights everyone who donated. And I think that's like a really good way to kind of heighten the donors and get their names out there a little bit more.
Definitely. And do you have any tips or advice for businesses out there?
I think relationships are really important, and it's not just about, everybody's going to have an ask, something that they want, but beyond that, it's always good to get to know people, just to have a sincere interest and curiosity about each other, because everybody is constantly being asked for something or asking for something. It kind of breaks that pattern for a little bit and humanizes things. So I just think like having relationships, that's like
100%.
Something to really emphasize.
I love it. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. We'll go to Paul.
Oh, dang.
Because I got the fellas like all around. So I want to cut to Paul and then we'll ask the fellas. What type of marketing do you do for your realty, and what works for you, maybe what doesn't? Do you have any tips or advice for others out there?
Okay. I think one of the most important things in marketing, and I think that's Victoria,
Yes.
Exactly what she was saying is just like a lot of relationship building. I think there's a lot of like kind of get rich quick kind of things like with marketing. People think like maybe a viral video or something like that will help out with their marketing. But I think what the most important thing is a long-lasting, consistent relationship.
There you go.
So I think just over time, little by little, just providing that consistent relationship with your client base, and that can even be like on social media platforms. Just trying to put out consistent videos and communicating to your audience and just forming that trust and relationship. Not just on social media, but also with the company's actions. Being able to come through on things, make sure that if somebody says they're going to do something for a client, really trying to come through. As corny as kind of like logical that sounds.
Right. No, but it's a
for sure. Yeah, sometimes that's like the easiest and most you can count on reliant way of marketing. It's just really becoming a reliable, consistent company. And like I say, just really trying to maintain that relationship with the client base.
100%. And especially with what you do, because I mean, you'll get repeat customers or the same, and then they also recommend you. Like with where I bought my house, my house on Facebook through Facebook Messenger.
Nice.
It was amazing.
Sure. Wow.
I didn't know I was gonna buy a house, and I did. And
Crazy.
you know, just the experience and you know, like I don't know, it's just a really cool thing. And in 2023, you know, everything is so
it's different.
It's different.
It's different, but also there's ways to still maintain those consistent and maintain those relationships, even though maybe we're not in person so much. But really still trying to maintain those relationships via social media.
Personal touches and so forth, yeah.
Sure.
I love it. Thank you.
Yeah, got it.
All right, guys. So with the Scorpions rugby team, what type of marketing do you guys do? What works for you guys? And do you have any suggestions or tips out there for different sports affiliates trying to get the word out?
I think for us, what has worked the best is just being consistently active, specifically on Instagram. We get a lot of guys that they say they don't Google anymore. So everything is like,
what?
Everything's through Instagram.
They don't
Facebook.
Google?
Yeah.
That's how I found
You don't
them.
Google?
Yeah.
No, I found them through Instagram.
I search on Facebook and Instagram too, like food and all that stuff, but like you're not even going to Google anymore, bro?
No, that's the feedback we've got.
How old are you? No, this is all very valuable information.
He is on the younger side.
How old are you?
I'm 23 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who else is not Googling? Raise your hand.
I still Google.
Paul, you're not Googling. Okay. 23-year-olds do not Google.
Yeah.
This is a mind-blowing thing for me. I love it.
Right, but the new generation, they don't. So we try to stay as consistent on Instagram, specifically, at least like one post a week, one picture, one story, something to let them know that we're active and, we're always, requesting for new players or if anyone's interested to come out and just check us out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's what worked for us. Just
I love
consistency.
it. And that's basically building the relationship, and consistency seems to be the general advice here, right? And you really can't have a successful business without either of those. So I like what you mentioned about posting weekly and so forth. I do recommend that businesses post at least once a day to your feed and at least 3 to 5 times a day to your stories. I'm like a freak of nature, and I post anywhere between like 20 to 100 stories. So, like you could always say like, do what I do, you know what I mean? But like, it's not normal. Like, I know it's not normal. I get it, but it's different. It's a lifestyle page. I'm promoting businesses and stuff, but at least post 3 to 5. I think it's super simple. 15-second, a picture, a 3-second clip of whatever it is. And that's going to help get a lot of eyes on your stories that don't currently follow you and get them to follow y'all's page. So that's like my weekly advice that I always give. There's all kinds of, like, don't even get me started. Like, I will go off and you'll be like, Annie, calm down. So without further ado, let's just go on and start the deep dive with Moor Children's Home. I freaking love working with you guys. I have for a few years. Anything you guys ever need, I hope you come to me and let me know how I can help. Tag me and everything. Victoria, I've known you for a couple years now, and you're just the sweetest person. One and two, you guys always have something cool going on. Yeah. So I just want to kind of let you take it away. Tell us what's going on. What are you guys asking for? Do you have any needs? I know you guys are always kind of requesting different, like the spring boxes, birthday cakes, there's all kinds of ways that our community can help our children's home. So take it away.
Thank you so much for being a big champion too, because the Lee and Beulah Moor Children's Home is local. We don't have a national budget for advertising, so word of mouth is a huge help. So thank you so much for that.
100%.
And just for anyone who's not that familiar with us, we are El Paso's only children's home, meaning the kids live there on a long-term basis. There's the Child Crisis Center, which is incredible, and that's an emergency-based service as well, and that's a little bit more short-term, whereas the average length of stay of the kids who live with us is about close to 3 years. And so we're there to really be a big support system for the family. Not everybody has a grandpa or grandma to fall back on when things in the immediate family fall apart, or an aunt and uncle. And so what we really help do is save families. That's one of our biggest goals, is if it's safe to reunite families, we work with the parents or guardians along with the kids to make that happen. Most of our kids are teens, and I think that something I really like to emphasize to people is that teens really need the most love. People tend to think of children's home to think of little kids, but teens are technically still children too, and I think that's one of the hardest times in your life, is when you're a teenager and you're kind of like, you're not quite a cute little baby, but you're not a full-blown adult yet. And I think teens are cute because now I'm older and I'm like, oh, I remember being that young. But they tend to get ostracized, I feel like, sometimes. And so I think it's so amazing to exist and to be a support system. And I'll try not to dive too deep into it, because I could go on and on about what we do. But it will give me the chills when I talk to adults who used to live at the home, because it's truly life-changing. The path could have been different had they not had some sort of support system, like with the Lee and Beulah Moor Children's Home provided. So if you go to our YouTube channel, you can see some testimonial videos that are really great, and they kind of give examples of that. Carlos Aguiano is one of my favorite ones. He went on to an art school in California, and now he's worked on films like Iron Man 2.
That's amazing.
Yeah, Iron Man 2, Transformers 2 in the graphics department. But he started off as a kid in middle school whose mom passed. The dad was not very supportive, left him with grandparents in El Paso, and they left him with the uncle. Going home to home, finally at the Lee Moor Children's Home, he got the support that he never felt he had. And I just think, what would have happened if he didn't have that? Would he have believed in himself to pursue the arts and make a living? And now he and his wife have adopted and from foster
That's so beautiful.
Adoption. So sorry for taking up so much of the time.
No, but it's just like such
a
neat and beautiful community that you guys like. It's really cool. All the work that you guys do, and how many people you help. How many kids are you helping right now in your home?
We serve more than 80 children and families. In terms of how many kids live at the home, it's getting close to 50, but that changes. When we open another cottage soon, that'll be another 8 kids, and then we're planning to build and open 2 new houses, so that'll be 16 additional children. So that'll drive up the number to
how many cottages do you guys have?
We have 7, and so we'll have 9 by the end of the year is the goal. Of course, sometimes construction, things like that.
And that being said, too, because I remember when I first started going and talking and meeting people and getting tours at the children's home, at the time, this was a few years back, you guys were in need of building a playground.
Yeah, so we got that established. Thank goodness. It's an awesome playground. Of course, it has to meet like standards of licensing and things like that. But right now, the huge project is that we're going to open 2 new cottages. So that'll house 16 more children. And that means we're going to need to hire 4 more childcare workers. We also will have a dining facility, a new kitchen, and a new storage area because of donations. Sometimes you run out of space. Yeah. The really nice thing is we do have an agreement with the Goodwill. So whatever it is that we're not able to put to use, we can give to the Goodwill, and they give our kids store credit. And that's something that we would need consistently to have that store credit throughout the year. So when people clean out their garages and their storage units or whatever, they can donate those things to the home, and we try to see.
I mean, if you're gonna take it to Goodwill anyways, take it to the children's home, and then you guys can get some cash from store credit. I should say.
Exactly. So
that's very cool. That's very cool. Like just an easy way to help. Easy way to help.
Exactly.
Not everybody can donate money or anything like that, but that's just an easy way to help. You're cleaning out your spring cleaning, right? Go clean your closets. Clean under your bed. Get all those toys your kids don't play with, put them in a bag.
Yes, the toys.
Yeah.
And even if it's like grandparents' clothes, people think, oh, the children's home won't need that. But again, our kids will get store credit. And with some of the families we serve, they might have a grandparent that's in poverty and that is struggling. And so we do keep the elders in mind as well. That's great. I mean, we don't just help the kids, we help the families. We help, there's people that come in, and that's why I say we serve more than 80 children and families, because it's not just the kids who live at the home, but it's also, people can come to us for unplanned pregnancy services. If they decide to place a baby for adoption, we are licensed to do that. So an adoption agency with infant adoption up to, I believe, about 18 months. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I learn something new all the time.
I know, it's so many services. Because I mean, we're talking about birth, but then also helping as they leave high school. We have a college program that we actually branched off into a separate nonprofit called the McGuire Center. So is this going to come out before Saturday or? Yeah. Okay, so this Saturday, the 29th, the 30th, they're going to have at Kendra Scott, they donate 20% of the proceeds to the McGuire Center. Oh, wow. And that's where we help pay for the kids' housing, so that, yes, they're going to have jobs while they're in college, but they're not worried about having enough money to survive.
So the McGuire Center is a second branch.
That's our sister nonprofit.
Following high school.
Yes. So it's actually, for now, it's our kids. Yeah, it's our kids who've graduated.
Wow, that's really cool.
It's cool.
So you're with them the whole time. Like they have someone with them the whole time, just like we all should have.
Yeah, exactly. They have to apply for that program, but let's say that's not something they want to do. They don't want to go to college. They're not too sure. We stay in touch with them. So we help them with groceries. If we get extra donations, and we always have them in mind. So we always ask for more than the kids that we have at the home, so that we can help the families that we stay in touch with, or the kids who've left the home. But we always try to help them with that plan. So if it's not college, maybe it's joining the armed forces, maybe it's a trade school. Some of them want to hop into business right away because maybe they have like an extended relative that has a business, and we've had stuff like that before. And so we just try to help them with learning those skills like money management. Some of the local banks and credit unions will come to the children's home and they'll give them like financial literacy.
Dude, we don't even get that training.
I know. Yeah,
that's so cool.
And it helps set
real world knowledge.
Exactly, and it helps break a cycle if they're coming from a really struggling background of poverty. It helps kind of end that cycle when they learn, okay, great, I got all this money, but it's not really all mine to spend. I gotta pay rent, I got
responsibilities.
Yeah, exactly. That's hard because when you grow up not having a lot of money, you want to spend that money right away. You want to finally go to a nice restaurant, and just
kind of naive about life in general. Yeah. Like I remember when I used to drink, I had a credit card.
Yeah,
and it's like I better have had a good time on that credit card looking at that bill. I don't remember a lot of it, but it's when you're young and it would have helped me to have somebody help
just to have that in your mind.
That education,
because even if you don't follow that advice, you always kind of remember, and then sometimes you revisit that advice, and you're like, you know what? My childcare workers, we call them cottage parents. My cottage parents were right, or.
Dude, and how many of us don't do that? When we graduate high school or move out on our own, we're like, damn it, our parents were right.
Yeah.
Like, about one thing or the other. Yeah. That's so good that you guys give that and offer that.
It's about giving them the confidence to believe that they can succeed after they leave the home. We don't want them feeling like, what am I going to do now?
And they're not alone.
Yeah, and they're not alone. We stay in touch with them. And we have reunions every 5 years. So cool. That's where I got to meet people who were there in the 60s. And that's where I got to hear those stories about, my child care worker, or like the executive director at the time went with me to a funeral of a family member from a different, state. She said they flew with her. And just like to have that support system, you're going through something like that is really hard. And to have somebody that, cares about you with you in a situation like that. She told me that story. And again, that really melted my heart. And But as in terms of what we need, one of our big needs is we need childcare workers. So
I've been seeing your posts about hiring.
Yes, we need more because we have some that eventually leave because they move. There was one whose husband was deployed, so she was able to be a childcare worker while he was deployed, but eventually he came back and she had to leave. And so the goal is to have people there for as long as possible because they build relationships with the kids. So I think it's a really good position for people who are like close to retirement, for empty nesters and people. You can even have
true,
kids.
Empty nesters.
Yeah, you can have up to 2 kids between the ages of 5 to 12, and it wasn't always the case, but we decided to do that because a lot of the time people who want to be childcare workers are people with kids. So we thought, why not, let's bring that back. We had stopped for a while just because it keeps the operation a little bit smoother but you get to see those kids play with like the Leemore kids, and they're just all family. They're all Leemore kids because they all live there. Yeah. And so it's really awesome to see that bond. And I've met adults who grew up at the children's home because their parents were childcare workers, and the stories they tell, or they come to the reunions because obviously they're part of the home. They grew up alongside the kids, and so. But we are in need of those. You do live at the home, so obviously that's like a big important part that makes it a little harder to find people because they have to be willing to live there during the week. They do leave Friday evening and they come back Sunday evening. But the wonderful thing is that you do get vacation. To help with the goal of reuniting our kids with families, the kids go on what we call home visits. So they might stay with an extended relative, a caregiver, something along those lines. And in the meantime, the childcare workers, they get time off. Obviously, if there's kids that have to stay, we work with that. We have people who stay back. But they kind of rotate that out so that everybody at some point gets time off. So it adds up to about 5 weeks paid vacation. Wow. They get, they offer insurance. They get free vision insurance. They offer dental. So you get all the benefits. You get also, you save money on utilities because you have your apartment or your house to go back to on your days off, but you're not using the water and utilities up while you're because you're at the home, and then meals are provided, and you're not having to, like, these kids mostly are teens, so they're in school during the day. Then we have a librarian who has a chess club. Cool. Yeah, he has a chess club and a robotics team, and he has we have tutors. We have a recreational coordinator. So there's a whole support system around you. You're not just like, okay, you got to find the entertainment for the kids. You got to cook the meals. We have the support staff make the meals. And we have people help them with their homework and science for projects. Obviously, you get involved in that a little bit too, because you kind of want to. You want to know what they're doing in school. But they have certified teachers that we get through a grant with EPISD who are there to. That's cool. So it's amazing. It's a really unique operation. And if anyone gets a chance to look up our video on YouTube, it's about 15-16 minutes long, and it really explains who Leemore was, because it's again unique and because of him. He lived way below his means and saved that money to start the Leemore Children's Home and donated 13 acres of land, and that's where all the houses are. And
that's so cool. So
that's like one of the biggest immediate needs, but toiletries are always a huge help. We constantly run out of shampoo and conditioner, so shampoo, conditioner, deodorant, feminine hygiene products, toothpaste, that's something we're in need of right now. Liquid body wash, the sponges or loofahs to apply the liquid body wash.
What about food?
Food, yes.
Because I know you do your pantry boxes and stuff like that for the families.
Exactly. So those are because, like I said, they go home. And so we want to make sure that when they go to those families that they have food, because a lot of the time it's coming from a low income situation. So we send them with the food box, and it has mac and cheese, tuna, crackers, soups, like all those basic non-perishables. Of course, with the fundraiser we have, which is the Walk-In for Families in Crisis, that's happening May 20th. That's a fundraiser for food. So of course that's where we buy our more perishable stuff like fresh produce and dairy and poultry and all those kinds of things that, we wouldn't want to rely on donations for that because sure. We have to get it fresh and stuff. So but for those food boxes, it's usually around spring break, around Christmas break, Thanksgiving that we put staples for the Thanksgiving like gravy and stuffing and cranberry sauce.
So there's infinite ways that we can help as a community by donating either just what we're going to be taking to Goodwill already, So that way you guys can get trade on Goodwill products for your all's kids. So take your Goodwill stuff to Lee Moor Children's Home so they can donate it, whatever they don't need, so they can use what they need and then donate the rest and get the trade.
Yeah.
It's just an easy win
and
for
everybody. And the
everybody.
kids do go to Goodwill, you know. Sometimes they want to go there for clothes.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
In high school, I used to buy all my shirts from Goodwill because that's where I'd find all the cool sport shirts and all. It was like
vintage stuff sometimes. And
like
we have some kids that are into records, and so they can maybe get that there. So a really cool thing that we do during Operation Pumpkin, which is close to Halloween,
fun event,
is we'll buy some. It's awesome, and we get. We've bought some wooden pieces there, like tables and shelves, and the kids paint it, and then we auction those off.
Oh, that's cool.
So they get to like support something that the kids painted, and they get involved, and that's just like a little small portion. But we always look for. So if anyone listening wants to donate towards that, we're always looking for high, sometimes luxury items, high value items, because that's what is gonna get people to bid higher and higher to win those.
That's
so
cool.
And Airbnb stays really cool, hotel stays, all that kind of stuff. So tickets.
So businesses too, you can always offer up your service, a gift card or whatever, so that way they can auction those off at their different events. Again, we have the 21st annual walk run for families in crisis, Saturday, May 20th at 8 a.m. Liam Beulah Moor Children's Home at 1100 East Cliff Drive, El Paso, Texas 79902. Make sure to follow them on Instagram and Facebook. You can reach out to them to get more information on how you can help. How, if you're interested in possibly applying to work there, or maybe you know somebody who's interested, go on and reach out to them so you can see what all they need, because I'm sure you vet your people.
Background checks.
Yes, all that good stuff. So
they have to be at least 21. I should have said that.
Yeah, perfect. Is there anything else we want to say?
Well, it's going to be our first time having the walk run on our campus.
Okay.
So because of that, we're going to give tours that day.
Oh, cool.
And we're working on getting more giveaways and goodies. We're going to have a mariachi band there.
What?
So, So try to make it more of an event.
Heck yeah. Go and sign up.
And you get a t-shirt if you're one of the first 300 people to sign up.
First 300. And it's still time to sign up for it and everything. How do they do that?
They can even register the morning of. So if you have a team of at least 10 people, it's $15 a person. And it goes up to 18 after May 8th. Individual, it's $20, and then it goes up to $25. But you can register. There's the QR code here, but also so go to our Instagram, which is Leemoor LEEMOOR_EPTX. We have like the link in the bio. Go to raceadventuresunlimited.com and you can look for our race there. Again, it's May 20th. So, and then also on our Facebook, we're constantly posting about it. So.
I love it. Tag me and everything, please. Anything you need, let me know. And if you think of anything else we need to mention, just let me know and we'll get it on camera.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, Paul.
Perfect.
You ready?
Yeah.
Let me get you close. There we go. So, how long have you been in the game? I know you drove from Las Cruces today to be here, so thank you so much. Are you just licensed in New Mexico, or is it Texas and New Mexico? Tell us about what you do.
Okay, good deal. Yeah, so I'm licensed in New Mexico. I'm a licensed real estate associate broker, and I work for Exit Realty. They're in Las Cruces. So I thought I'd come on the podcast today, just in case there's anybody that's looking into possibly moving over to New Mexico.
Moving or getting an Airbnb, or you have people moving in from out of town, something like that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Just being able to kind of talk about what Las Cruces, what New Mexico has to offer. I'm originally from El Paso, Texas, so I also have a lot of love for El Paso.
Yes.
But I currently live over there, and so just wanted to come on here and talk to you about
Yes, tell me. So how does the Las Cruces market look right now? I know it's like a quick 35-40 minute drive.
Sure.
There's new areas coming up. There's gorgeous houses over there by Dripping Springs.
Yeah.
There's a whole new development area on the other side of the moon, is what I call it, because that's where my favorite Thai restaurant is. Renew's.
Oh, sure.
Renew's.
Yeah.
Oof.
Absolutely.
So good. But that place is building up over there too.
Sure.
What's going on? How does the market look? I know things are kind of taming down a little bit after
Sure.
COVID. Tell us what it looks like.
Yeah, so the market is taming down a bit, but in general, Cruces and the El Paso area, basically this whole Southwest area, it's still pretty booming. Thank goodness we have a lot of great weather. We have a lot of stability in this region. So yeah, there's still a lot of business. Like Annie was saying, there's still a lot of growth, a lot of development. Yeah, and so basically a little bit of background about me. Like I say, I originally come from El Paso, Texas. My mom, she
Woo! What's up, Virginia?
We relocated when I was just about to go to high school.
Okay.
And I was very, very reluctant to moving to New Mexico.
Really?
I was super comfortable in El Paso.
Okay.
I was very stable. I had like my little friend group.
Sure.
Shout out Slider Middle School.
Back in the day.
Yeah, exactly. So, but my mom, she had just found the love of her life, and she still lives down there in Chamberino, New Mexico. But she was just telling me like, no, like you need to make sure and move with me. Like there's gonna be a lot of opportunity over there. Like I say, I have a lot of love for El Paso. But one of the things that my mom was telling me about was the lottery scholarship. So New Mexico offers a lot of state scholarships for all of their residents. And so that's something, my mom coming from, she had 4 boys, a single parent, she was raising all of us. And well, we really didn't have the funds to be able to pay for education. So that was a big incentive, and I'll go over some of the a little bit more details of the lottery scholarship here in just a bit. But basically tuition for any resident that's there in New Mexico. So yeah, I moved to New Mexico. I graduated from Gadsden High School. Picked up learning Spanish along the way. Entonces, si ustedes necesitan algo y algunos servicios en español, también les puedo ayudar en esa manera. I can help you all with any services, with any Spanish-speaking clients also. Yeah, so I graduated from Gadsden High School. I went to NMSU, got my degree in marketing and advertising. Along the way, though, I had a lot of jobs in behavioral health, case management. I also come from that world as well. And I'm actually super grateful that I had those experiences and I had a lot of that background. A lot of people may not realize, but buying a house can be extremely stressful. It's a huge purchase, probably the biggest purchase that anybody is going to ever make in their lives. Yeah, so I have a lot of, I am technically not a therapist, so I can't provide like a therapy session or like a clinically diagnose anybody or anything. But in general, just have a lot of experience with stressful situations. Like Victoria was saying, just a lot of those experiences, just a lot of working with a lot of high needs people. So I come with a lot of that experience and try to approach my clients in that way, just to be able to provide a lot of support. And then kind of I combine that with a lot of my marketing. And at the end of the day, just provide customer service, just to be able to help my clients out as much as possible.
100%.
So that's kind of my background. And
okay. And so right now with the Las Cruces market and in between from, New Mexico is what, not, it's like what, 10 miles away, like Sunland or whatever?
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. So from Sunland on in New Mexico, how's the market looking?
Still, like I say, it's still pretty booming.
Okay.
I know
the prices have gone down though, some, right?
Prices have gone down. Interest rates, they are up right now. One of the things that my qualified broker says in a lot of our meetings, and I feel like it's really good advice. We're not saying to like buy a ridiculously, get into a bad deal, something like that. But in general, people that are renting, they're paying 100% interest. Say interest rate is maybe about 5 to 7%, whatever the case may be right now. That's still not 100% interest that somebody is paying when they're renting. So say, maybe you have to pay a little bit higher interest rate right now. It's still a lot better than giving all your money to a landlord or something like that, and they're pocketing all that money themselves and they're putting it into the equity of their property.
But later on, you can refinance and get your lower interest rate when the market's better and so forth. I didn't think I was going to buy a house, like I said. I really didn't.
Sure.
And I lived in a really crappy apartment on McKinley at the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
And I moved down to a house on McKinley in Copia.
Yeah.
On the same street, and I'm paying the same price that I was paying in rent. For a mortgage.
Yep.
That's taxes, mortgage, and insurance.
Yep.
Under $650 a month.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So I see what you mean. Otherwise, I'm just paying someone else's property, and I still have nothing.
Yeah. And when you move, you have all that equity built up. You can go ahead and put that into another property. It's actually a huge enhancement to somebody's financial situation to buy a home. It really gives the person a lot of leverage, and like I say, it's a huge change. It's like almost like a teenager like coming into an adulthood, something like that. I mean, just the process in general of buying a house.
Yeah.
But it's super, super helpful for somebody's financial situation, and they have a lot more room to make big financial moves. Just kind of taking that leap of faith and just making that move.
Well, and there's just so many different people out there in the market for different reasons. Like I say, Airbnb is huge. I even heard about this new thing where people are like calling places who are renting houses and saying, how much is your monthly rent? Okay, I'll pay you that. And then they sublease it for Airbnb.
Wow.
Yeah, there's all kinds of crazy stuff going on right now. But houses are needed for that. Apartments are needed for that. You know, like condos and so forth. So how do they reach you? How do they find you?
Yeah, so you can contact me directly on my phone number. My phone number is 575-418-0784. Will there be like a place to be able to put that contact info in the bio?
Oh, what's the number? Say it again.
Oh yeah, it's 575-418.
418.
07
84. Cool. I'll add it on the bio too.
Awesome. Yeah. And then I also post a lot on my Instagram and my Facebook accounts. Instagram account is at P Braden. My last name, my first name is Paul, so it's just P, and then my last name Braden. The number 9. That's on my Instagram. I think that's how you find me on Facebook also.
Right.
Yeah. If you just search Paul Braden, real estate agent, I should be the only one that pops up there.
Perfect.
So, but by all means, contact me directly on my cell phone. If you guys have any other questions and concerns, like I say, I come from a lot of the social work, case management background. So even if you guys have questions about like insurance for your kids, different kinds of there's so many programs in New Mexico.
That's really cool because again, if you're moving from Texas to New Mexico and you're like, what the heck am I getting myself into now? It's a completely different market. Or you're moving from Cali to New Mexico or New York to New Mexico. Like all these implants are coming now. You actually have a pulse on different things that people think about when making that big move. Not just the most important thing on where I'm gonna live, but also like this is a good school district. Think about this for your insurance or consider this and this. So that's really cool. I'm glad you said that because that's again already more above what you can find from a typical, anybody. I love that. So do we cover everything? Do we want to mention anything else?
We also have legalized marijuana.
Oh, that's another reason to move to Mexico.
And you know what? And sometimes that's actually a really big factor for people. There's people that are suffering with seizures, with certain kinds of mental health diagnoses, things like that. There's actually a big influx of people that are coming in for some of those reasons. They have a treatment that's there, that's legal. And they can receive that treatment there in New Mexico.
Right, legally, right.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
So
all kinds of reasons. I love it. Reach out to Paul. If you guys have any questions, you're interested in the market, you tell him what you're looking for. He'll go on and do all the research and send you guys only what you guys need and what you're interested in. So thank you so much, Paul.
I have a couple more things.
No, tell me. No, I don't want to miss it.
Okay, cool. I just want to say I am part of the LGBTQ community.
Heck yeah.
Sometimes finding a real estate agent and maybe just being comfortable, just sometimes with the political climate, with some of the social climate that we're in right now. I definitely will be able to assist you all and just work with that clientele as much as possible. The other thing I wanted to just dive in a little bit more onto the resources. There's taxes. The Texas homeowners tax currently is 1.80%. And that's in comparison to the New Mexico tax, which is 0.0%.
Wow. What?
Yeah, exactly.
I know, like we didn't
Wow.
go there.
Yeah. Okay. So for example, in Texas, if you're paying, say you have a home that's $172,000, which is about the median price of a purchase price there in Texas, you'll be paying $3,000, almost $4,000 for the taxes a year in Texas.
Oh my God.
Coming to New Mexico, our tax rate is 0.80%. That takes it down to $1,740 a year.
Wow.
So huge
That's
difference in property tax. Yeah, absolutely. I will say, just to be upfront, purchase prices are a little bit higher in New Mexico. The price of a home in Texas is lower, but
The taxes, it equals that, it balances out in the long run.
Sure. Everybody's gotta kind of look at their situation, figure out whatever is best for them. Like I say, if New Mexico is something that you're looking into, please feel free to reach out. And I just wanted to just double down on that lottery scholarship. So it's they have two main scholarships, and of course they have other various statewide scholarships as well. But they have that legislative lottery scholarship. Basically, any student that graduates from a New Mexico high school, they qualify for a percentage of the tuition assistance. And then if they're, so that's like really low, 2.5 cumulative GPA. Really, like New Mexico is just really wanting to get their students into college, get them educated as much as possible. And it's been a really, that program has been alive for a long while. We also have the Opportunity Scholarship. So, sorry if this is getting confusing.
But it's cool to know there's options, and
Sure.
if for some reason you do have questions out there, El Paso or anybody who's watching, this is the person to talk to, because he's got his finger on a pulse on it. So what's the opportunity?
Yeah, so the lottery scholarship is if you just come out of high school, and then they also have the New Mexico Opportunity Scholarship, and they pay for all the tuition. But even if you're not fresh from high school, you still have an opportunity to get some scholarships from the state to be able to go to college.
Very cool.
Lots of opportunities.
Lots of assistance.
Yeah, look at your situation. Like I say, there's a lot of benefits for people. Maybe they're staying in Texas. But if moving to New Mexico is an option, please feel free to reach out. I'd love to help out. And also, Exit has offices here in Texas. If you guys need an agent to be able to sell your property here in Texas, I have lots of great referrals, a lot of awesome agents that I've worked with. So they can help you here on the Texas side, and then I got you back there in the New Mexico Cruces side.
I love it.
So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Paul.
You got it. Thank y'all so much.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. That's a lot of really good information. I did not expect all of that. That was awesome. All right, guys. We got the Scorpion rugby team in the house. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
Pretty good.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming. I'm super excited because I love rugby. I myself didn't know we had a rugby team till about a year or two ago.
Okay.
And apparently I just learned today that I've lived under a rock because you guys have been around since 1972.
Wow.
1972. I wasn't even born. I was born in 83. That's crazy cool. So, for anybody who doesn't know what rugby is in El Paso, because again, it's not like a common thing in this area, you guys want to explain what rugby is? I know. And we have Noel, Preston, and Andrew. Thank you guys for joining me.
Yes. I would say it's similar to football in the sense of the violence, but it's a little bit more of a cerebral game, kind of, but it doesn't look like it when you're watching.
Okay.
It looks more physical.
It's yes,
But it's
extremely
more
more physical. Yes.
It's controlled chaos.
Yeah.
That's chaos.
Yeah.
I love, what is the thing called? The scrum?
Yes.
Yes, that's the coolest. Yeah, I'm just telling you, it's all kinds of crazy stuff. It's crazy stuff. They're all bloody, and they wear these weird head things, and it's just. I said it. I don't know what I just said, but I did. I'm gonna let you guys take it away.
No, yeah, you're referring to the scrum cap.
Okay.
Which, some players wear it. It's mainly to protect their ears from getting, the cauliflower, getting cut and stuff.
Ay.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
The best way I describe it is like football is a collision sport and rugby's a contact sport because there is rules. It's not just it's free for all. You go and hit somebody. There is rules. I mean, you can't hit above the chest above. You can't wrap. They will call a penalty. There is yellow cards and red cards, so people can get kicked out. So again, whereas in football, you're running this way, you come back this way. Somebody can take out your knee. You can't use blockers. So so it is more of a contact. You have to make the contact. You have to attempt to wrap. So it's not like where people are saying, well, you're going out there and you're getting. You're getting killed, you're hurting your body out there.
It looks crazy. It looks crazy.
There is no pads. People think that the scrum caps are used as a pad, but it's more for your ears.
It's just to protect your head. It's like literally just to protect your head. There is 0 pads. I don't think I've ever seen any like shoulder pads or elbow pads, knee pads. There are no pads. It's just to protect your head during the scrum. What is a scrum?
Well, if you want to go into technical details about it, so a scrum is typically what happens is when a knock-on happens or when a penalty is given to one team or the other and they have a choice. A knock-on is typically considered when someone goes to catch the ball and they drop the ball and the ball goes forward. If the ball goes backward, it's still a live play. But if the ball goes forward, a scrum is considered down, and what ends up happening is that we have 8 guys on our team. What we have are considered forwards. I call them fat kids because I'm a back. I run around for a living. And they go against the other team's 8 forwards. And what they're going to do so they don't have in first row is essentially 3 people versus another 3 people.
Yeah, it's a group of people. It's like a strategic move.
Yeah. So we have a first row, which is a prop, hooker, prop. Our second row is 2 locks, open side flanker, a blind side flanker. Then we have a third row, which is technically considered an 8-man.
3 rows of people.
Essentially 3 rows of people, and they're pushing. So what's going to end up happening is that as soon as the server will give us a call of crouch, bind, set, the ball will go down the middle of the tube. Our hookers' jobs are to hook the ball backwards, and at that point, that's where really spending time in the weight room and everything comes in handy because you're trying to push the other team away to gain control of that ball going over.
Like imagine a tug of war without the rope. Right? Because I see you guys like going back and forth in this big group of like this huddle group, 2 huddles. I don't even know how to describe it because I'm not that sports person. But you have to watch it. It is so intense and so fun and thrilling to watch. I used to have a friend who played have a friend who used to play in New Orleans. And to go to some of those games and traveling with them, it was just super cool. Like, everybody who plays is so cool, laid back, fun. It's a big community.
Yes.
And just like you were saying, you came from Colorado.
So I moved down here from Colorado in October. I found these guys through Instagram and playing with them and stuff. You never meet a friendlier group of people. Yeah. I've been lucky and blessed to go and travel around the world and meet a lot of people. Now is that if you come out for practice play for a season, you now have friends for life no matter where you go. Yeah. Typically, you'll find a lot of us drinking at the bars and stuff. Yeah. So if you say something to the bartender, oh yeah, I play rugby, you're going to have someone come to you, tap you on the shoulder, like, hey, come drink with us. It's just you never meet a friendly group of people, and everyone understands what we play, and we always just want to make sure that we're friendly about it.
And I'm glad you said that everyone understands what you do because anybody, like, if you don't understand, it's like, it's not a common sport. It's not the football. It's not baseball. It's not basketball. You know what I mean? It's something outside the box. I was telling you guys, boxing is my favorite sport. I love bloody sports. So as soon as I saw rugby, I was like, what is this? Oh my God, this is amazing. And so I was all about it, but it is intense. And so you do have to have an interest for it. But if you give it a chance, like, man, it's just such a cool and fun game to watch. So you guys just played this week?
We had a game, this past Saturday against Camelback.
How'd you guys do?
We did good.
Yes.
We won 24-21.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it was actually the first time we, made it past the first round in the playoffs. And it was actually the first time we hosted a home playoff game as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that was kind of a huge thing for us. And, getting that win, was also huge for our program.
Absolutely. And so I know we were talking earlier, you mentioned that the season's kind of off right now, but you have some summer games
Yes,
coming?
so we're going to be starting our 7 season, which is 7-on-7 versus 15-on-15. We'll actually start that next week. During that time, it's more laid back. We'll get together once a week, typically on a Thursday, just run practice for 2 hours, really just running, kind of, staying active. Saturdays we'll have, I believe every other Saturday we'll have like a small tournament with local clubs, college, NMSU, UTEP, sometimes Juarez will show up.
Wow.
Fort Bliss also will sometimes come with their own team, and then we'll just all play each other.
That's so cool. So that's about 4 teams around this area?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And I know how you said your team is like 60% out of towners.
Yes, 60%
that's really cool.
About military.
Okay.
We've had some guys that have actually were military and actually ended up staying here, so which has been
that's
awesome
real
for
cool.
us.
Yeah.
So we have kind of those.
Send them my way, Annie's Adventures. That's one reason why I started the page was for military, because when I worked at El Paso Saddle Blanket, all the military is locals. This place sucks. There's nothing to do here. I'm like, let me show you something. Well, that's very cool. So you guys have some summer.
Yes.
Okay, tell us about when that's coming up. How do they find this information? All that good stuff.
We'll be posting it on our Instagram page and Facebook page. It's just El Paso Scorpions, both on Instagram and Facebook. We for sure know we are going to be having our first sevens tournament here in El Paso on June 17th, I believe.
Okay.
It's the second weekend of June.
Okay.
Second Saturday of June. So there we've already confirmed teams from Juarez, 2 teams from Albuquerque. We're waiting on a team from Arizona, and then hopefully UTEP and MSU are able to join as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. And you said earlier you guys are always accepting members?
Oh yeah.
How does that work?
Yeah.
Members, teammates, I don't know, what do you call them?
No experience needed.
No experience needed.
Yeah, if you're interested,
just some ganas. Let's ganas,
exactly.
right?
Just send us a message on Instagram, Facebook. We'll let you know, where our next practice is. Just come out and join. There's no pressure at all. We just want guys to come out, experience it. If they like it, awesome, keep coming out. If they don't, that's cool too.
Sure, try it out. And is there an age requirement?
You do have to be 18.
Okay.
If you're under 18, you do have to sign over a slip.
Parental agreement.
Yeah. Okay.
Parental agreement, yes.
And then anything else that they need to know, membership fee or anything like that?
There are dues, what we call dues.
Yeah.
So normally we do, it's either about $25 to $40 a month, depending on when we start to implement it. Because we do have to pay for fields.
Sure.
To reserve fields, we have to pay for practice pads, balls, hosting socials. In rugby, the culture is you always take care of the other team that travels.
Oh, cool.
So when they come to you, you have to give
host
them
them.
drinks. Yeah, we host them, give them drinks, make sure they have food. Everything's provided for them.
You know what would be a great place for that? Dead Beach. I'm just saying.
We're actually sponsored up with the Craft Box and the Shack.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So they've been able to sponsor us, and we've been having
dope.
socials there.
Yeah, you said you have something on Thursday.
Yeah. Thursday we'll get together for a little powwow.
Cool.
And go over what we plan for the summer, and then kind of go from there as far as what's next for us.
Very cool. Awesome. Is there anything that you guys want to throw in or add?
I was going to say also, if I'm not mistaken, Dead Beach came to the last game.
Yeah.
And
they came to our last social.
Oh, dope.
They came to the social and they had a little, it was a little battle between them and New Mexico.
Oh, cool.
New Mexico Brewery for that battle because we were playing against Albuquerque.
Okay, that's super fun.
Beers, so it was cool. And,
the battles of beers.
Yeah, so that happened. And and I was just going to say, anybody that wants to come out, even if you're under the age, when we're practicing, we like to, expand the game. We do have colleges, UTEP, that we hope that they eventually come to us because we're the senior men's team. Juarez does have a college as well. They have their team, and then they have their senior team as well. Las Cruces, we're getting a lot of their guys to come down. We hope that they get their own team because they do have their college, but they did have their senior team. We hope that they get that team together because it's just better for us because we're kind of secluded out here that we're playing, you know, we're having to travel to Albuquerque,
Sure.
Santa Fe, Las Vegas, New Mexico, Arizona. So we're having to travel. We do a lot of tournaments. We're going to be going to a tournament up in for Sevens Celtic tournament, which is a big Celtic fest.
What? That sounds amazing.
Awesome.
Are dudes wearing dresses?
Yeah, so I bought a kilt because I
Oh my gosh! Can you guys send me a picture? I'm kidding. Not kidding.
16 years that tournament, so we go out there. It's fun. It's an all-day thing, and right in the middle, there's rugby.
That's so fun. When and where is that?
That one will be. I don't know exactly. I want to say May.
It's next weekend.
Oh shoot!
Oh, wow.
It's
Yeah,
May
May
6th. May 6th in Albuquerque.
In Albuquerque. How fun is that? The Celtic rugby team.
Weekend trip.
Right where the balloon fest is at.
That's so fun.
I get to see that for the
I'm
first
telling
time.
you, these guys are a super fun group of people. Like rugby players are super fun. They're gonna be wearing kilts. Come on. Okay, so I don't know. Sorry, I'm just trying to wrap my head around all of this. It's a lot of information. It's really cool information. Anybody can join even if you just want to go and watch.
Absolutely.
Go and support these teams, guys. Like they're El Paso. Go and support them. Learn about it. Go to YouTube. Put rugby. See what it is. If you're not familiar and you're like, oh my God, how I've been sleeping on this. That's what I was like when I was younger. I was like, what is this? It is awesome, right? How long have you guys been playing?
I started in 2005.
Okay.
I took like a 5-year hiatus and then came back.
Yeah.
It's been about 12 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been playing for 16 years with the same team.
Wow.
But I've gone to, you go to Austin and we didn't go with a team, I want to say 3 years ago, and you just know you can show up and there's teams that, hey, it's a tournament, like, hey, you guys need anybody? And
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very
You don't have to
open
have like,
community.
oh, sorry, you don't.
if it's a tournament, so if it's a tournament, a lot of teams, and then there's guys that get hurt, and then like, hey, well, you guys.
Yeah, but man, what I'm saying is, you got a TV and you got the teams on the TV, and they're like, oh, this dude's hurt. Pfft, that sucks. Like your season's over. No, it's like, hey, who can do what he does better? I want you on my team. And then you now have a team 5 minutes later. That's amazing. Like, what the heck is that?
So we just had the past game, we had the ref come into town. He Ubered to the game, and next thing you know, he's hanging out till 1, 2 in the morning. I don't even think he used this hotel. Stayed at one of our players.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
That's really what rugby is.
Yeah.
It really
That's
is.
the
Just like you
culture.
said, the culture's like that. It's you go to the bar, you're wearing a rugby shirt. We go out like that.
Yeah.
And you're in another
Brotherhood. It's like a
hey.
brotherhood. Anywhere you go, right? Anywhere you travel, you guys click like that, and
And
instant
it's played
friends.
all over the world. So
Yeah.
everywhere you go, you're gonna meet someone that plays rugby.
my friends, because they had people from Ireland on their team, like from all,
yeah.
and so they made a trip to Ireland and played rugby there. It was crazy, yeah. It's super cool. Just the different people you get to meet, the brotherhood. Is there anything else that we want to let people know? Did we cover it all?
I was about to say, I got 2 things. One, because I got skipped on that age thing.
Ah,
I picked up rugby my junior year of high school, and so I've been
yeah, but
playing
you're a
for
baby.
unfortunately. But I've been playing for about 7 years
Wow.
now. I've absolutely loved it. I've been all around Western Colorado playing with different clubs.
Yeah.
Coming down here was a lot of fun because I got to jump in with a bunch of great guys who immediately took me in, even though I knew absolutely no one down here in El Paso.
Yeah.
My big thing that, especially when it came to playing the sport, is that it doesn't matter how big you are, how small you are, if you're overweight or if you're really skinny, we take everyone of all sizes. There is a position for you on that field somehow. We will teach you whatever you want to learn as long as you're willing to accept it and be a part of the team.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's great information. Thank you.
Yes. So as far as getting players here, because like we did mention, a lot of our team is made up of military. So when they leave, we kind of are sometimes left with a void, and we have a really hard time actually recruiting locally.
Oh,
So for those high school kids that just finished playing high school, they're looking for something to do and they're staying locally. Like rugby is a good thing to get into because, like you said, it is a brotherhood. It's something you can play. I mean, for many years.
yeah.
Yeah. So definitely
You get to stay active.
Exactly.
That's perfect.
And you get a whole group of brothers. Like we all get along. We all hang out together.
Support each other.
Yeah, support each other. Exactly.
I love
message
it.
in the chat, hey, who's going to the bar tonight? All right, I got 3 people with me today. It's not just me.
That's
teachers, lawyers, doctors. We've seen it all.
A whole community.
Veterinarians, which I still go to today, and I will make one point that a lot of the fat guys that come out, well, I'm an offensive lineman that played I can't do it. Well, they get to get the ball now.
Yeah.
So when they get it in football, they get to get the ball.
Watch out.
Run with the ball.
That's a good
Everybody
point.
runs with the ball, so that's kind of fun when we wanted that. Hey, you don't get that glory. Well, you're gonna get the glory out in the field.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's great. Is there anything else that we missed? Do we want to cover, mention anybody? Do we get all the deets? That's a lot of information, El Paso. We got filled in on how we can help the Moor Children's Home on their upcoming 21st annual walk run for family crisis. Paul helped us out with a lot of what's going on in the Las Cruces, New Mexico community, as far as if you're interested in buying a house, and some like different community programs going on. So if you have kiddos, you're interested in moving, you guys are looking for different scholarships and things like that, please watch this video. And then of course, the El Paso Scorpion rugby team. Thank you guys all for joining me today.
Thanks for having us.
Is there anything that anybody needs from the community to ask right now?
Come out.
Yeah.
Come out and
Support, right?
Yeah.
Support local businesses. Give them a follow. Tell them I sent you. Did you want to say anything? No, we're good. So then I'm just going to flip this camera. Thank you to Dead Beach for allowing me to use this office space every week for my show. I really do appreciate you guys. If you guys are interested in donating to anybody, please consider donating to the Moor Children's Home and also the El Paso Zoo Society. The Zoo Society keeps our money here in El Paso, just like the Moor Children's Home keeps our money here in El Paso for our kids. If you're interested in sponsorship opportunities, please reach out to me. If you're interested in featured posts on Annie's Adventures on Facebook and Instagram, please reach out to me. I have space on my wall for logos. Please help me get to 500 likes on YouTube. Spread the word. As soon as I do, I'm going to have a bigger Chuco scavenger hunt. So I'll be hiding local prizes from local businesses around town. And it's open to the community to go and find for free. But that comes once I hit 500 subscribers on YouTube. So help me out, guys. I love you.